Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Ave, Ave Dominus.
Our culture, American culture, doesn't talk about death. We've sanitized it, we've stored it away, and it's just a fact of life. It's scary because we don't know what's on the other side, but at the same time, why be afraid? A death cafe is a safe place where people come together, eat cake, drink tea, and talk about death.
So, hi everybody, welcome to the Death Cafe. Well, I'm glad to have you here. I think this is going to be really fun, which is not a word we think of.
My name is Tom Gleason, and I was in Vietnam in 6 months, wounded twice. I went over with 44 guys, and 3 of them that I know of came back standing up. I was one of those guys we used to tell the girls not to date, you know, those dog faces at Fort Carson. I became one. 13 months we were supposed to do, and we knew we would never make 13 months. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way you could live, is to accept your death. When I got blown up, cars blew a hole through here, split these fingers, holes through here. This bone was cut off, was blown out through here, and this one here, so they cut them off too short. Shattered this right femur, blew my left leg off. Since then, I've had 5 children and 10 grandchildren. My kids called me on my birthday, "Dad, how you doing?" I said, "Good." I said, "I feel great." I said, "I've gotten a use out of this body. I've taken it a long way." So it was worth it. Life doesn't owe me a dime.
I'm Wendy Lloyd, and I'm a funeral songstress, and I also work with hospice. I had never known my dad my whole life. So I met him when I was 18 at a truck stop for probably 2 hours. And he said that he had had a pimple that wasn't getting better. We found out that it was cancerous. And he went really fast. My dad said he loved me for the first time and the last time at the same breath. So it was incredible. And I was there for him to help him move on. Then I just had like a great desire to work with people during that process. It really fueled that. What a gift it was to be able to be there with him during that time.
I am Beth Clements Mosley. I am an apprentice funeral director and a death midwife. I lost my life partner to suicide 13 years ago, actually 13 years ago this week. For some people, they have a lot of deaths in their lives, but that doesn't change their focus. But for me, death became a real focus. I really feel like I was blind to beauty before that, until I had understood how deep suffering could be. Suddenly beauty is more beautiful. Suddenly gratitude is much deeper. It's really true that the cracks are where the light gets in, and light flooded my life through this terrible breaking. I have not been this happy in a long time, and it's not because other people's pain makes me happy, it's because I can help. To say that death is this unequivocally negative experience, or that it's a medical failure, or it's the worst thing that can happen to you, is not really true. The people that I've watched pass that's not the worst thing that ever happened to them.
I'm Fiki. I'm a student. I have a complicated relationship with death, I suppose. When I was 14, I had leukemia. Sort of confronted my mortality in that. And then more recently, my mother's been diagnosed with a brain tumor. So now I'm trying to deal with not death about me, but as another person very close to me. She's in her last few months, so just trying to figure that out.
It's just, I know that my time with her is very limited.
It's still an abstract thing, even though I know she's going to pass, it still feels not real. I'm still trying to figure out, like when it hits, when it actually happens, I wonder if it is going to feel real at that moment, or if it is always going to feel like this. We're done all the treatment now, and she's just going to have as good as the last few months that she can have.
We'd always joke saying, who's the favorite kid? And whenever we saw something that may have been a hint of, oh, she's the favorite kid, that person's the favorite kid. And she would always say, no, I have a space in my heart for each one of you in an equal space. Eventually, we said, who do you love the most? And then she said, myself. Yeah. And yeah, it was just a really touching moment because I think she spent most of her life trying to really feel that. And I really think she did at the end. And I'm glad, but yeah.
To die is to grieve everything you've ever done. It is to understand that there is a finite number of things that you will get to do in your life, and that there really is a literal number of times that you will brush your teeth or pour a cup of coffee. And when you die, you grieve the last time you look at yourself in a mirror. You grieve the last time you walk out of your kitchen with something warm in your hand, and eventually you will take to your bed and not be able to ever see your living room again. If we had, all of the time in the world to do whatever we wanted to do, none of it would be meaningful.
Just this weird tangled mess. Now it's feeling like a part of me will always be sad. That'll be like a kind of default. Yeah. So yeah, I just break down in different instances.
Once you're dead, you're gone. So that's why I find writing and reading so beautiful, because people stay alive through that.
These feelings aren't just existent in me, that other people have gone through it and somehow they've done it, so I guess I should be able to do so too.
I want to say the two things I think that make the Death Cafe the most successful are, one, when you run over time and nobody notices. And the second thing is when people walk out and go, I can't believe we laughed.
I'm going to have popcorn served.
There'll be a lot of none, probably.